Okay, everyone, welcome back to the Trading Camp. I wanted to do a quick video on Bitcoin here, lay out some key levels that we're going to be looking at and try and assess how this play is going to go. And I just wanted to test our new platform using this video, testing out our new Twitter page and YouTube channel, get some content up to start with. So hope you enjoy it. Hope you find this useful, and please share it, like it, retweet it. And if you're a member of the Trading Camp already, great. You guys are going to get some continued great alpha, as you always have been. And if you're not a member of the Trading Camp, well, get in touch if you want to find out what it's all about. Okay, so let's have a look at Bitcoin here quickly. We're on the weekly at the moment. And interestingly enough, so just doing a bear chart here, just starting from scratch, reaffirming a bias and just seeing what play we've got. So all I'm really looking at is our RSI trending, some volume and pivots. These are pretty much the only tools I'm going to be using today. So first things we can establish on the weekly level is just here we have this this key level right here that we're sitting on the weekly pivot, and that is at about 37,600, and we can see above and below we've got our appropriate S1, S2, S3, and then we also have our R1, R2, R3 up here. Now, key observation straight off the bat is I want to see if we want to have some good chance of moving upside from here, this weekly pivot needs to hold, i.e. when we get to the weekly close, we've got a little while yet, still 5 days away, and a lot can happen in between, but closing the weekly above here is a really good sign that we're going to move up. If we close it below, then we need to start looking at these other S levels to work out what the direction is going to be over the next month or two. So we'll come down to the daily. Now we can see that we've just tagged straight off of this weekly pivot at support at the moment, and so far our daily candle is still under the daily pivot. As long as we're under here, then these S levels are on the table, and obviously we need to look at the bigger scale of our weekly pivot and weekly levels up and down through here. So for me, this is a really key level here. Just seeing how we react in this. We've got 44 minutes left to daily close. I'll be surprised if we get over the weekly pivot before then, but certainly if we close tomorrow below here as well, then I'm going to be looking towards these lower levels. Now, if we just take a look at what these other levels hold. So we've got S1 that's floating around this 35,800 mark, and we know that 36k level is a big key level that a lot of people are watching carefully. So this is a really important level to watch. If we have a look at the range that we formed as well previously, we can see that we have our range. It's in about here somewhere. Am I working off? So this is roughly speaking the range that we've been working in so far. And as you guys know that are in the group, my philosophy has always been, as long as we're within this range, the macro bias is going to be very hard to determine. Whilst we're here, the play is quite simple. You sell the top and you buy the bottom. And as and when we break and hold outside of this area, then we can consider a bigger macro move. Now we can see this 30k, 36k level almost lines up as our sort of range EQ. I would probably argue that the actual range EQ is somewhere around here. We can see that we've had several points of confluence along this line. It's give or take somewhere around here, which puts us at that 34,500, so about 35k. So now that we've rejected this range high, we need to keep in mind that there's a meaningful chance of a visit to this area on the range EQ, and if we lose that, then obviously just playing the range, looking down into this level. And should we break the range, then we can consider what the options are either way. Now let's just go into this in a little bit more detail. Let's have a look down here on the 8 hour. I'm just going to turn the pivots off for a minute so we can see what's going on. Now we do have this key level here, which I noted is the weekly pivot, which we've now just bounced off currently. Failing that, we then have range EQ in this area, we have weekly S1 down here, and then weekly S2 is way outside of our range. So as long as we're range bound, we're simply going to focus on what's in the range. Now, the problem I have with this 36k level is that there's a lot of retail interest in this level. If you follow any social platforms, or if you talk to a lot of people that are following the crypto world, you know that a lot of people are layering bids. In this box here. Now, that concerns me a little bit because generally speaking, when what we call the masses are taking a view or a direction or are looking for a level, that price will tend to not go there, or if it does, it won't stop. The nature of the markets don't give easy entries for everyone, so I'm concerned that although everyone is watching this level, that's not going to be the case that we need to watch. So in my view, I want to either see a bounce out of here or here, or we can start to look lower here. In fact, I'd say that we're more likely to not get the range EQ, but possibly wick down towards this weekly S level down here. So somewhere in this box, if we lose this, or we'll be looking a bit lower down here, maybe possibility to get something around this level too. But most of my confidence is going to be down here. Now, let's just take a quick look at what the RSI is doing. If we go down to the 4 level, we can see that we've had this huge cool off on the RSI here. Our sell volume's actually been pretty weak through this move down. We've had some key buys step in on this push up, but at this rejection we don't have an enormous amount of sell volume, and this RSI is now almost back in oversold, and that's moved very quickly. It's about to form, well, I mean, arguably we already do have some hidden divergence happening through here. Sorry, let me get this right. This is what I was looking for. So arguably we've got some hidden divergence happening here already, which we need to keep in mind. And if we break down, we can see that also on the 2 hour, we now have a bullish divergence forming. And now that we are at this key level here, and the 1 hour, again with this divergence much stronger. And if we come down into the 15-minute, we can also see that we have this break of descending channel happening here. So this is showing me that we have some low time frame support and reversal signs occurring here. Now, bear in mind that this is the area here in this red box where a lot of people are going to be looking to layer entries. So my view is that we either move up before that or after that. Now, providing this level here holds, ideally staying above this low. Worst case scenario is here. So if we can stay above this point here and we can move up and make a low time frame high, then I'm going to be expecting a move back up towards this area and possibly up. Now if we just come back out to our daily and we'll just pull those pivots back in again. We can then see that that brings us up to a retest and flip of the daily pivot, which is this key level here at that's sitting at about 39.2. Just under 39.2. So I expect that we move up, we hit a retest here, and in the next couple of days, if we can push above that, then R1 is where I'll be targeting up here at 43, about 43.3, and then we can potentially look to the weekly R1 as well, which is up at the 46 level along with the daily R2. So this is the play that I see subject to these points here holding. Now, if we lose this and we break down, then we need to consider what the options are on the other side of that. So a breakdown from here, the first point we're going to head to is, boom, right in our red box where we're going to be seeing a lot of people look for buys. Now, it seems unlikely to me that we take this move here. That seems quite unlikely. But what I think we may possibly see is a move down to EQ, possibly into this zone here. And if we can then reclaim EQ, then we've got a nice position here that we can then look for a move up. Lose this and fail to bounce off of this weekly, then we need to start looking at these levels here below. But we need to take that one step at a time as we get the way that we've moved up with this big push up, and given how fast we're seeing our medium time frame RSIs cooling off, I see these levels as fairly unlikely at the moment. My best guess is we take a move out of here and then we target at least back to range high, and then we can take this level as and when we get there. But right now, as long as these key levels hold, I think this is off the table as we speak at this point. So that's my rundown on Bitcoin at the moment. Hope you enjoy it. Let's see how the next few days unfold. Thank you very much.